All right. What do we have here? Okay, Joe, you get to pick. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Do we talk about Notre Dame students? Do we talk about Indiana and Amazon? Scary new report about that. Do we talk about... No, I'm not going to do Buttigieg yet. I'm going to save the cult stuff for 5 o'clock. That's going to be good. Do I play the audio of Elizabeth Warren lying about her children? That could be a good one, too. Have that audio in there. You have that up over on your screen. Let's see. What's the other thing? No. Don't want to talk about Chick-fil-A or fake newspapers. You pick.
Amazon, Indiana.
Amazon in Indiana. Boy, is this an interesting one. Hey, local media who watches and listens to me, you're going to want to report on this now. Just letting you know. For those of you who don't know, they take a lot of their ideas from me. So when I don't talk about it early on, I think that some of them get a little miffed with me because then it doesn't make it into their next broadcast. So I am doing my best to help them out, okay? So anyway, Indiana may have manipulated a report on Amazon workers' deaths in order to, are you ready? In order to lure the company to Indiana. Which worked, by the way, because we got a lot of Amazon jobs. And then, before I dive into this, we also have to remember that Indiana lied to Amazon about online sales tax. Let's not forget that. They only came here because they didn't want to deal with the online sales tax. And then what happened? A couple of months after they were here, the legislature's like, yeah, we lied to you. So there, there's a little bit of that going on too. All right, so here we go. Tragedy struck on September 24, 2017. 59-year-old Philip Lee Terry, an Indianapolis Amazon worker, was crushed to death by a forklift while on the job, which is a serious risk anytime you're in a warehouse and there's a forklift around. What's that?
What I understand, stuff like that happens commonly.
Very common.
Amazon.
Yeah, forklift accidents are extremely common. And obviously I feel for this guy's family. It's terrible. State investigation into Terry's death, faulted Amazon. But a recent investigation by Reveal from the Center for Investigative Reporting, never heard of them, claims the state of Indiana absolved the company of responsibility in an effort to lure Amazon's second headquarters to Indiana, which didn't happen, by the way. They did lure Amazon here with a bunch of warehouses, but they didn't get the headquarters. They were really vying for Indianapolis. And do you remember when Gary, Indiana foolishly submitted that they were, remember that? Hey, we're Gary, Indiana. We're close to Chicago. Come be in our backyard. And then I'm sure that Amazon executives laughed and laughed and laughed. You know that meme of all of the politicians? And then I said this, and then the next picture is them. That was Amazon when Gary, Indiana submitted their request to be the headquarters of the second headquarters for Amazon. So anyway, the investigation was published by the Indy Star, suggests that Indiana's Republican Governor Eric Holcomb's attempts to lure Amazon to the state prompted state investigators to remove the fines originally levied against the company. Wait a minute. Something's not right here, Joe. Hold on a second. Time out. I'm not supposed to say things that are critical of Republicans. I'm just a puppet, right?
Apparently we're all...
Do we have like 4 or 5... people come in and say that they heard that about me the past week or two?
Yeah.
You just repeat what Rush Limbaugh says.
Yes.
Which, of course, I never do because I don't listen to Rush Limbaugh. But anyway, this is weird that I would say yet another unflattering thing about Eric Holcomb, whom I've said many unflattering things about. But I've been fair in my criticism of him because I've also given him praise where he deserves it, and he does deserve a lot. Okay, so I just wanted to pause and time out for that because so many of you are preoccupied with your own tribalism and confirmation bias to notice that I routinely do this. I've got the bleep-eating grin right into the camera just for visual dramatic effect. In response to the investigation, Holcomb's office released a statement categorically denying the allegations. Let me be as clear as I possibly can. I have never been involved in a Department of Labor case, Holcomb said, through a statement issued by his press secretary, Rachel Hoffmeyer. I hope he's telling the truth, because if somebody finds out he's not, woo Nelly, that is going to be ugly. The allegation from the investigation insists that the investigator, John Stallone, who began investigating Terry's death the day after it occurred, received pushback from his superiors, so he secretly recorded his boss allegedly counseling Amazon on how to reduce its punishment from the state of Indiana. Stallone, an investigator for the Indiana Occupational Safety and Health Administration, that is IOSHA, recorded his boss, IOSHA Director Julie Alexander, allegedly a woman, as she spoke to Amazon officials. Alexander, I'm only saying that because women could never do anything wrong. Alexander, according to the Reveal investigation, allegedly told Amazon officials, quote, what she'd need from them in order to shift the blame from the company to employee misconduct. Alexander also, on that call, allegedly explained to Amazon how to negotiate a reduced fine and suggested the company partner with IOSHA as a leader in safety. Okay. Now, you should understand that Amazon has had many allegations about safety issues at their warehouses all across the country for a number of years now. Stallone also claimed to reveal that Holcomb personally attended a meeting between Stallone and Indiana Labor Commissioner Rick Rubel. Rubel allegedly told Stallone that Holcomb had told him that getting the Amazon headquarters in Indiana would be big for the state. Well, yeah, it would. I mean, it would be big for any state that got it, obviously. Rubel also allegedly said at this meeting that Stallone needed to back off his investigation of Amazon or resign. Okay? So the allegation here is that Indiana was really trying to get the number 2 headquarters from Amazon into Indiana. Obviously, Indianapolis was the big city that they were looking at for that, which would make sense. Indianapolis would actually be a great headquarters for Amazon. But they didn't go that route. And Indianapolis, I think, proved a lot of things to people when they hosted the Super Bowl. There was a ton of people who came away from Indianapolis who said, wow, why do we not talk about Indianapolis more? Because they are way better than Chicago and New York and L.A. in a whole host of reasons. And I'm not just talking about taxes and politics. So they're saying that because the governor really wanted to get Amazon's second headquarters here, that they asked the investigator for OSHA to back off of really looking at this as being an Amazon fault death and to just back off, and they would offer, you can have some fines, you join the IOSHA program and become a safety partner, and, we'll kind of make this, go away, or at least not be as bad on Amazon and your reputation as it could potentially be if we went forward with the investigation, okay? Furthermore, I have never had a meeting with Commissioner Rubel and an IOSHA employee, Holcomb said through a press secretary. Again, people are going to be pouring over his schedule. He better be telling the truth. My office told Reveal that this information was false, and yet they still published the fabricated allegations, Holcomb continued. Now, to defend Reveal, just because somebody says the allegations are false doesn't mean you don't publish them. You publish them, and then you put the comment on there that, hey, just so you know, the governor, viscerally denies this allegation, and that this is a developing story, and we'll continue to update you on it. So the reporting is both irresponsible and deliberately misleading. We are exploring any possible recourse to remove these heinous lies. So he sounds miffed. If I were to use a word to describe Governor Holcomb right now, it would be miffed. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I ever thought I would see him upset. He's just not that type of guy. Stallone told Reveal that he quit shortly after this alleged meeting with Commissioner Rubel and reported the situation to a federal OSHA official. Stallone told this official that someone higher than Director Alexander hoped to make the whole issue disappear in the hopes that it would keep Indianapolis in the running for their new HQ location. So Indiana officials quietly did sign an agreement with Amazon to delete all of the safety citations and fines, according to Reveal's investigation. The agreement said that Amazon had met the required unpreventable employee misconduct defense, and the official record now essentially blames Terry for his own death. Which, for the record, I don't know what happened in his death, okay? I don't know if it was partially his fault or his fault. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the report is. Now, I will say this. If they have the recordings, I certainly would like to hear them. Because if they're saying that I have these recordings and I recorded all of this, then that would certainly be evidence that would be necessary. So keep your eye on this. This is not a story that's going to go away. All right. This This has some legs on it. We'll see what ends up happening, regardless of which direction it goes, whether we find out that the allegation is true or we find out that the allegation is false and Governor Holcomb has been vindicated. I would expect there to be an update on this in the near future. We got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.